Hey, this is Christina Feliciano with Feliciano and Friends. I have Shannon Reeves here today. She is the owner of Linden Creek for interior design, and we're just going to learn all about it. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, of course.
So tell us a little bit about the background. How did you get into owning Linden Creek?
Yeah. Well, I spent like 2 decades almost working in corporate finance.
Okay.
And so I'd managed...
Don't worry, just talk to me.
I know.
No, you're good, you're good.
I spent nearly 2 decades managing corporate finance, managing budgets, multi-million-dollar budgets.
So what was your background? Do you have
all
what's your
accounting,
degree?
finance.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I eventually just started checking all the boxes on that career. Yeah. CPA, manager, this and that.
Okay, very cool.
Started investing in real estate also on the side. And then maybe like only 5 years into that, I was like, this isn't really fueling me.
Yeah.
I don't think this is my answer, And I didn't know what my answer would otherwise be. And I just kind of like said that out loud to a coworker, and that's when I had an aha moment, and he said, well, what do you, when you're laying in your bed, like, what are you scrolling? I'm like, oh, well, I'm on Pinterest, duh. Like, I'm picking out another tile or another paint color or whatever for my properties that I was renovating. And so that, like, clicked, and I started researching it at that point, which is like now almost 10, 15 years ago, how to become an interior designer. And then I just kind of like let that fall to the side, and kept checking all those boxes, got through my finance career. And then I realized, and if this was only a year ago, that I was ready. And so I started to research.
It's a process to become an interior designer, isn't it?
It is. And that was
talk about that process.
That was part of like where Linden Creek came in.
Okay.
Because I Googled it again more recently, and it was like, go back to school, start making 30 or 40,000 a year, start at the bottom, work for somebody at a big firm, this and that. And I'm like, I don't think I have it in me to start back at the bottom.
No, I get that.
Yeah, it just felt like not where I really wanted to be. So, and I didn't know at that point. I just knew I was ready to move on from finance, and so I just started researching random things, like maybe I could start being a professor on the side, or this is like very random.
No, I get it.
And I think the algorithm just caught me, and it was Linden Creek's algorithm, and they were looking for exactly me. You know what I mean?
That's cool. So talk a little bit. What is the franchise? Because I'm new to this. So explain what they do, where they're.
So it's an interior design and luxury home staging franchise.
Okay.
The only one nationally. It's actually kind of difficult, I think, to franchise a creative industry, but
I could imagine it would be.
They pulled it off. It was, all the attorneys and everything said, yes, you have a great business model for this. And so it started maybe 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago. And so I was maybe like number 15 franchise.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now
How many
there's
franchises
20.
are there? Okay, very cool.
And I just signed on in July of last year.
Very cool. So did they train you?
Yes, tons of training. They're so supportive. That's one of the great things.
That's
lots
really
of training. Nice. We have touch points. I get at least one question answered every single day.
So are you able to like design how you want to design, and then they have like a little bit so how is it working for a franchise?
So I have a little bit more. I have freedom more or less everywhere. Yeah. However, they do have some tools set up for me that I can leverage.
Okay.
Where I need to. So there's a whole interior design team that I can leverage. That's remote
really nice.
over there.
But you are able to have your own creativity.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to leverage those services.
And where are they based out of?
They're based out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. And are you the only franchise in Florida?
There's one in Sarasota.
Okay. So how do people how have they heard about you? Has it been like through Instagram, word of mouth?
I've been getting my boots on the ground and going into real estate offices. That's where I'm starting, is on the home staging side is easier to market, just because you have more of like a target that you can go after. And then that has just naturally turned into a couple of design clients so far too. So,
okay, very cool. So you're going to places, or you're going to like just...
showing up at the office.
So that's awesome.
Bringing a gift, just getting to know people. I have a couple lunch and learns scheduled coming up too.
Okay, very cool.
And I got really lucky at the very beginning. My first launch was in October when we launched, so very recently.
So what was your first launch and where was it?
Neptune Beach. I don't even know if she knows she was my first one. Okay. But or if she realizes that yet. But in Neptune Beach, like a couple blocks from Lemon Bar. Brand new build.
Okay, very nice.
We got great feedback. Really, really great feedback. The house went under contract in about 30 days during the holiday season, which was like that doesn't happen. So at that price point.
So how important is home staging when you're trying to sell a house?
It's pretty important. So you have to catch the buyer's eye within like 2 seconds on their smartphone, or they keep scrolling, right? So staging helps just draw somebody into the door, which is like the first hurdle.
Yeah.
But even if the house isn't staged and they come into the door, they're going to realize the flaws first. So they're going to see a crack on the tile. They're going to see that itty bitty closet that's in that room, you know, and that's going to be hard to take their focus away from. However, staging creates a feeling and like an emotional attachment for these buyers into these homes. And so they can see themselves and visualize, you know, their family doing the homework at the dining room table or snuggling up on the couch for a movie night or whatever. So it helps create like an emotional connection for the buyer.
And does your company also like stage for people, or do you do consultations at all? Or is it all like, so when you're staging, is it all like you have the products and you're bringing it into the house and you're doing it? Or is it like, let's say I don't own this condo, but let's say I own this condo and I wanted you to stage.
Yeah.
Would you come in and bring things, or would you advise, hey, you already have this, let's use what you have? How do you do that?
It's a great question. There's like 3 tiers, and we're in 2 of the 3.
Okay, so talk about the 3 tiers.
Yeah, the first tier is where I just come in and give advice.
Okay.
Second tier would be I come, I give advice, I use the things that you have, and I maybe bring in some of my other things. That would be tier 2. And then tier 3 is the house is completely empty, we bring everything. Okay. And so we're in the first tier and the third tier. So
we're not really store everything for the third tier, or do you purchase it for each house?
No, we have a ton of inventory. So I started purchasing inventory back in September, and built up 7 or so houses at this point. Maybe more now, because I keep just kind of purchasing more, and we have 4,000 square feet over.
When you are staging a house and you have this 4,000 square foot of inventory, is it somewhat like seasonal or like trendy, where like for 6 months you're staging everyone do the same, or is it very individualized?
It's individualized per really what the house looks like. So it's funny, I just walked into a house. I go to a lot of open houses as well for my marketing. That's what I do on the weekends. Went into a house that was a beautiful mid-century modern, right on the marsh over in Jack's Beach.
Okay, nice.
Super interesting architecture. And the realtor there, he's like, oh, I've got a great stager, you know, check him out. And I'm like, okay, the stager has nice things, but it's all coastal things in this mid-century modern home. And so that's where Linden Creek is different, because we'll take a look at the house itself, and I have enough inventory to where I can design, you know, our stage kind of specific to fit the home. Okay. Versus it's coastal because we're at the beach.
Got it. So what are your different styles what's your favorite?
I would say our broad 3 would be modern, transitional, and traditional.
Can you explain them to me? Because I don't know what they mean.
If you think about modern, it's like almost kind of like bubbly and curvy kind of lines.
Is there much modern in Florida?
I would say it's more transitional than modern, and then in like the Riverside area, more traditional.
And what's transitional?
Transitional is like a mix between traditional and modern. Okay. And transitional is like what most people love. I mean, it's the most common, but it's my favorite. Okay. You know, it's just, I think it's the most beautiful. It's my favorite.
Yeah. And then can you explain transitional?
Other than it being
what is
a
this?
Mix
this is
between...
a Golden Girls vibe. Oh. Mine was pre-furnished, my condo.
Oh, you mean
I mean, well, this
I feel like I'd have to go see.
Yeah, I think it's I call it Golden Girls.
That would probably be traditional then.
Okay.
So like these chairs I would call traditional as well. Okay.
Probably I called them cuck chairs because they had them facing my bed.
I love it.
And then I was just trying to use what I had to make this room.
Cuck chairs in every house then.
So, I mean, I don't know why else they were in the bedroom.
Yeah. To throw clothes on them, probably.
I guess, but it was weird positioning. And then you said traditional is just like...
Think of like historic Riverside.
Okay.
Or historic San Marco, those
so
kind of areas. So traditional is kind
of
more
like...
ornate.
Okay.
Yeah, more just like interest kind of in the furniture pieces versus modern has more clean lines, and then transitional has a little bit of ornate, but a little bit of the clean lines.
Okay. And then what's the most rewarding like project you've done so far?
Probably I would go back to my first project just because the client that we got for that project is the same kind of client I am trying to duplicate 20 times over.
Okay.
We got so lucky fitting with that client. She's a designer herself, and she designs homes from the ground up. Like, she'll tear them down and do it for herself or for other investors. She's an investor herself.
Okay, very nice.
Or she does it for other investors, and so she's picking out these finishes that are out of this world. It's beautiful.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so she found me, and she's like, I am just so glad I found you. We were high-fiving. I was like, okay, this is awesome. How did I get so lucky my first time? This is what I want to keep doing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So how big is your team?
There's 2 people on the team.
Okay.
I have one person who's a stylist and one person who concentrates more on the warehouse. Okay. But we all help each other because we're so small. So my warehouse person will help.
And where's your warehouse?
Can come. University and Powers off of 95.
Okay.
We're pretty central to all of Jacksonville intentionally. Yeah. So that we can jump on 95, go north, jump on 95, go south, get to Riverside, get out to the beach.
Okay. So, and you said right now it's mainly like people that are trying to sell. Yeah. Or companies that are trying to sell that are using you?
We've worked with builders as well. So builders who are building spec homes and spec neighborhoods and need
What is that? I don't know.
Yeah,
this is all Greek to me.
Question.
Sorry. This is not my, like, this is like a very, like, some of the, most people that come on I have like a little bit more rudimentary like knowledge of, so I can like talk shop more. This is very Greek to me. So when I'm asking you a lot of like silly questions or very simple questions, I don't know.
No, you're good. Spec homes, so builders will build out an entire neighborhood sometimes, and then they'll have these homes that kind of already pre-built, and there's not a purchaser or a buyer already we're not building that home specific for that buyer. Okay. So it's in their inventory, basically. They just have a bunch of empty homes.
What is it called for speculation?
That must be what it stands for.
I'm assuming.
Maybe cut that out. Because I don't know for sure, and I should know it.
No, we can look it up. Izzy, can you spec house? I would assume that it's a speculation house, and they build it.
That might be
when they're making it to have a
SPEC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. That's what my assumption would be, that they make a speculation house, so basically people can view the neighborhoods and they don't sell that house.
A speculative house is a new move-in ready home built by developers without a specific buyer in mind, designed to sell quickly using popular, modern, and high-quality finishes.
Yeah. I'm good at acronyms, but
Boom,
not.
nailed it.
So how do you balance aesthetics with functionality?
I would say, let me check my notes real quick. Okay, start again.
All right. So how do you balance like aesthetics with functionality?
Yeah, so when a buyer walks into a home, they have to understand, where the TV is going to go. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just kind of about balancing the flow of the room, but telling a story of how you would live in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you focus on the aesthetics, but then, so when you're doing it, like, since you said it's emotional, are you trying to, and maybe I'm like making assumptions here, so do you try to like have like a dining room that if it's like a family, this is like do you make enough to like a 6 for 6 for if it's a family type of thing?
Yeah, we'll try and work with the realtor to understand who their target buyer is. Like, who is typically buying houses in this neighborhood, and then build around what that family looks like. And so maybe it's a grandparent neighborhood, right, where there's a lot of grandparents and they've got the grandkids coming over. So what would a grandparent want? For a room with twin beds, probably, like some sort of room to throw the kids upstairs with like games or something, and we'll put in and make it kind of kid friendly.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then how many bedrooms are most, like, let's say young families looking for? What are grandparents looking for?
I would say the young families are probably looking for 5 bedrooms.
Okay.
Because they're looking to grow their family typically and moving into
like
more of a luxury home, and so they're kind of looking for their home to fit their entire family that they're looking to build. Grandparents, more like 3 or 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with Linden Creek, what were the tools and training support that they had offered you, and how long did that take? So let's say I was all of a sudden like, you know what, I want to be an interior designer. What would that process look like for me if I were to go through Linden Creek?
Right.
Walk me through it.
It started in July for me, and I was open by October, so it was pretty quick.
Okay.
But I would say it's still ongoing. There was really a ton of training online that they provided. So it's funny, I got the award for being like the person who spends the most time on their training materials.
Oh.
It's like a joke. But
that's good. I would have gotten the one that spent the least time.
I'm like constantly referencing their training materials, jumping
that's
back.
That's positive. That's what they need. Like, that's good.
Yeah, they're like, oh, good, we didn't write these for nothing.
Yes.
Shannon's here. So from July through October, I would say I was training, and then there was 1 week very intensive where we went on site, and there was a specific schedule every single day.
Okay.
And we got to sit with the brand build team. They're more the design focused team. We got to go through a home stage. We got to go through what it is like in the warehouse. We got to go through a D stage, all of the things kind of throughout that week while we were there.
Okay, and was that in Raleigh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do you like Raleigh?
I like it over there. I could live over there.
Yeah?
Yep.
How far away is Raleigh from, is it inland?
I think it feels like it, yeah. You could just jump on Breeze flights though, so it's pretty easy to get there from here.
Okay.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah, and then, so how do you stay inspired creatively? Sorry.
I like to, I used to love to go into open houses, and that was part of my creative inspiration. Now I do that for marketing, so it helps both ways, I think. That's one way, but I just, also when I'm on vacation, and I'm going into like a nice hotel, cute little boutique hotel or something, or like a nice restaurant, I'm kind of like taking notes on the inspiration there.
Do you let like clients come to the warehouse to get ideas, or do you?
No, we prefer not to, just because.
No, that makes sense.
Eventually our warehouse might be in a better shape, but right now we've been.
It's like,
shoo! Like I'm just now staffed up. Like we are still opening up things and getting trash out, and like we're like halfway set up, halfway.
So how many houses are you staging right now?
Several. We've got 3 or so that are out, and then I've got 1 coming up, and then I just sent 4 quotes today. So.
Okay, very cool. So when you get paid, I'm not like asking like what the fine, like you don't have to tell me how much you get paid, but is it like a one time and then they keep it open? Is it like for every week? How does that work?
Yeah. Typically we set up our furniture for a 45-day period, and then you can renew it monthly thereafter.
Got it. So is it almost like they're renting for lack of a better term?
Correct. Okay. And so mainly that monthly cost is the rental fee, but that first 45 days, it includes all of the setup, all of the design. We're hiring a third-party moving company that helps us get it there.
Okay.
We have to hire that same third-party moving company to help us get the furniture out eventually, no matter what project we're on. So that's kind of all like front-loaded on the first 45 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So being in the Jacksonville community, how have they been responsive to Linden Creek? Is there a lot of competition? How is it?
I've heard specifically from some of the builders, like we have been looking for a stager like Linden Creek, somebody who is more elevated, more luxury focused. I guess, from her point of view, that is something that was lacking in our market specifically. And then on the design side, it feels like, often people think about design as like this kind of like mysterious, chaotic process. Yeah. That just kind of like comes to you or whatever. Yes. But we've taken more of a like strategic approach to design. Okay. And I think that luxury clients appreciate that because they're going to stay on budget. They're going to have their timeline set out. They're going to, it's going to feel a little bit more professional, I guess, so to speak.
Okay. Very cool. And how long has Linden Creek been around for?
Since 2017.
Okay, very cool. And then what's the percentage, when you buy a franchise, when you for revenue, what percentage do you keep and what percentage does a franchise keep?
I keep 91%.
That's pretty good.
And they keep 9%.
Stephanie sent a
Oh, okay.
It's difficult when you're cutting your margin already at 9% extra when you're a brand new business. Yeah. It's difficult.
So you have to buy into it.
If you do have to buy up front.
Okay.
But
I'm just curious because I don't know. I mean, I know of franchises. I know everyone's different. So you buy into it, and then when you're selling, you keep 91%, which I understand because there's going to be overheads, and I understand you're not going to profit 91%, but you're going to bring in 91% of the revenue. Also, for the prices, do they kind of control it then?
I get to control all of my prices. Okay. And it's hard to already take a 9% chunk out of, a 30% margin or whatever, or 40, whatever you're able to get to with your margin. That's difficult, but it feels fair because I'm getting branding. They're doing
Yeah, for
all
sure.
of
No,
my,
I understand. It makes sense.
Yes, all of my social media marketing
Yeah.
twice a week. They're posting for me. They're answering all of my questions every single day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're just all the support and everything. It feels like it's, oh, and not to mention, because there's so many franchise owners, we're all able to collectively leverage each other. So I have all of them. They have me. We can kind of like, we have a family group chat type
Okay,
thing.
that's cool.
And then also we have buying power together. So we're able to go out to the market and broker deals that
That's
maybe
nice.
a solo designer wouldn't be able to broker. Exactly.
So are solo designers, are they like resentful against you, or have you felt like they've been nice?
I don't think so, because
I didn't know how like the reception's
only designers
been.
I've gotten to know so far are miles ahead of me, miles and miles and miles ahead of me. Like I'm aspiring to be.
Got it.
You know how they are. So I don't think anyone would feel that way.
I don't know the industry, so I don't know if it's like very competitive. They're nice. Like some industries are more competitive or nicer than others. So
yeah, no, they're super friendly. They're like, oh, you're one of us now. You know. So it's been pretty cool. And yeah, I just hope to kind of get to where they are. I'm just going about it in a different path.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then you do anything with finance now, or you like is that those days behind you?
I mean,
I'm sure you are as far as the numbers, as far as running the business.
Believe it or not, I hired a CPA, even though I am a CPA.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I would put off my taxes so long because I was so done with it. You know what I mean? So I've really stepped away from finance as much as I can.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
So let me ask what the online is. It makes sense that it's really important for it to look good online. Is that more like I can't even speak. Is that more cameras and angles, or is that really more how you're designing? Because I know when you walk into a house, for sure that's going to be how you designed it, right? Like,
it is.
Hands down.
But we still have to consider the cameras and angles and the sight lines.
Okay.
So these like cute little things that you might have on your shelf would look adorable in person, but you have to have the right type of scale, and especially for the camera, larger like tchotchkes are gonna photograph way better than these like small cute little things. So we just can't have those small cute little things. You know what I mean? So we're definitely having to do both.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then how much of it now? Because I haven't purchased a house in a good probably 15 years, so it's been a while. But when we were purchasing a house, I don't know how much. We looked online, but I think like how much of it right now is like you have to really grab them online.
Oh yeah, a realtor would know better, but to me it feels like 95%. Okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe more, like a lot.
And then are there ever? Well, I guess not, because if you're having, I was gonna say there's never like where people want to purchase what you have in the house.
They do, and they're allowed to, and they're actually encouraged to. So in each home we include a QR code. With like all of our information on there, and then you can scan this QR code, and every single piece of furniture, if we did our job right, is all inventoried there, has a price to it.
Okay, that's really cool.
Check out on the QR code, use your credit card, and you can't have the furniture until the house sells.
Yeah,
but I might have it in my inventory, another one of them.
Very
you know what
nice.
I mean? So
that's
I might be able to get it to you sooner, or if you're the buyer of the home, you could just purchase the home as is. If you don't want to bring of your furniture.
Okay,
that
was my question.
That would probably be more likely. But I have had
a couple items.
I haven't had a whole house sell of furniture yet. But
that's a goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I have had a couple of just random pieces that other people have wanted in.
Okay. And then how do you work with the real estate agents to ensure that homes are staged to look great online and attract serious buyers quickly?
I follow my formula, really. So
what's the formula?
First, I ask them about who's their target.
Okay.
Then I'll look at the house on the outside and a little bit on the inside too, just to really feel like, okay, is it modern? Is it transitional? Is it traditional? And then from there, I'll measure rooms. We go through and measure every single room. It can take an hour, maybe 2 hours if it's a big house.
Yes.
All the nooks and crannies, the heights of all the shelves, the height of the island, and all of that. And then I'm using my system.
So why do you have to measure all that stuff?
So you start with the rug, for example. It can't be too far in from the walls. It would look less luxury. And so you have to measure the entire room to get the rug size. And then once you have the rug size, then you can have the sofa size.
If it's to the walls?
Not all the way to the walls, but within about 18 inches is what we say.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's like a formula around all of the rug size. And then, well, what size sofa do you put on that rug? And then what size chairs? And then the flow of the home, like where's the traffic coming in relation to the rug? And so where would you put the chairs? I mean, it gets a little complicated, I guess, when I say it out loud. But
no,
like,
it is. It's interesting though. Like I find that very
once you
interesting.
learn all of these little steps, and then you're figuring out where is the focal point, and you're kind of facing all the furniture towards that, and then where's the focal point when you walk into a bedroom, and so that answers your question on where does the bed go, and then how big does the bed need to be? Answers how big does your rug need to be. How do you decide how big the bed's going to be? It's just like boom, 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 and it kind of all just.
So how do you decide how big the bed's going to be? I'm just curious. Like, no, this is like stuff like
a king size bed is 76 inches. A queen size, I think, is that one I don't know as well, 60 some. Mm-hmm. But then you also need to consider your nightstands, which I think most of ours are like around 34 inches. And so can you fit 34 inches plus 34 inches plus 76 inches for a king? And as long as you can fit that on the focal size and also be able to walk around fully around the bed, then you're good. And you want to try and get a king size bed in there. Okay. If you can.
That's cool.
So you're just getting as big of a bed as you can fit.
And then you only want to put the twin beds or bunk beds, obviously for kids.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. And usually you're checking with the client to make sure that they are comfortable with that, if that's what you feel would work for them. I mean, it's collaborative too. If they're like, no, don't worry about it. Leave that room empty. Like, we don't want to pay extra for that. Okay. Yeah. We'll recommend what we think, and then kind of go from there.
What is the most important room, do you think, for selling? Is it I would think it's like kitchen, or not kitchen. I would think, this is my assumption.
Yeah.
Living room and dining room.
You're absolutely right. Oh. We actually walk in with our minimum is living room, dining room, kitchen.
Okay.
And then we'll say primary bedroom and primary bathroom.
Okay. Okay, so what's a challenge that you've faced since you started as a franchise owner, or just as a new interior designer? What's a challenge that you've experienced? Have you overcome it?
Honestly, I'm still going through them. But I would say just the duality, or the like identity shift of being, somebody who goes to work and has a solid foundation of work and a solid paycheck that they know is coming, and sitting behind a desk every day and having these specific hours that you're working and all of that, and then going from that.
So kind of the entrepreneurship of it.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of being out on your own and having to.
How do you like the Wild West?
It's interesting. I had imposter syndrome, so that was a big challenge.
That's so interesting. I had another. Eden came on. She talked about the imposter syndrome.
Yes, it is.
It's something I don't have, but.
But no, good for you.
It's probably a mental illness.
Luckily, the franchise has coached me through that.
No, it's really no. I think most people do, but
yeah. Oh my gosh, I've had to just pretend like I know what I'm talking about. And
was it just fear that you didn't know enough?
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Which I realized that I do, and I quickly realized that I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like my background in finance that felt totally different has actually benefited me in a lot of ways that I didn't realize. I'm just building on, the professionalism and the experience that I've had. So.
And even when I'm speaking to you, you can obviously tell that you're intelligent when it comes to like the different, I guess the measuring and just all of that things, which is kind of like mathematical, which some people calculations, right? So some people that might be like really artistic that might not have you have that like leverage or that thing that maybe some people could be very creative, but they don't have that like thought. Because I'm pretty creative, but I wouldn't think to be starting to measure and even though I'm okay, I'm it's just something my creative brain wouldn't be thinking that way.
Yeah. So, I guess it is interesting. You're just making me realize that a little bit is.
So no.
Yeah. Just having because I would just calculated at the same time.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't go into the room without measuring it. Friends asked me, "Hey, will you come design my space?" I'm like, I need to get in there with my measuring tape. I cannot.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting.
Can't just send me a photo.
Yeah, because I feel like I would. I mean, obviously, I'm not an interior designer, but I would almost have made the assumption that you're just willy nilly. So it's very interesting.
I think some people do and can, but I'm a little more calculated.
No, but that's positive, and it seems like the franchise is doing really well.
And that's what they teach us.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah. I like that a lot. And then, what is something that you'd give advice to someone if they wanted to be an interior designer or a franchise owner? Yeah. What is advice that you would give them?
I would say, don't be afraid to jump all in and leverage your resources. So leveraging the resources of the franchisor, to me, it felt a little like a cop-out or something, and I've only realized that it is the opposite of that, and it helped me to jump all in. Otherwise, I'd still be I mean, not that this was a bad life, but I'd still be doing what it wasn't fulfilling me.
No, that's really cool. That's a very good advice.
I would have not jumped. And so I like not always having to rely just on yourself and to use your resources.
No, that's really, it's really interesting you said that, because somebody had given me a book, and I'm going to forget the name now. What is it that? The How, not the Who. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Who, not the How.
The Who, not the How. But it's a little bit different. It's not managing resources, but it talks about actually how like having the right team helps you, and that we're not islands, and that we really do need. Yeah. And in the book, the first chapter talks about like Michael Jordan, how for the first like several years, like he didn't win any championships. No one really knew who he was until they started having like Pippen and these different other players, that all of a sudden he became, Michael Jordan, they won all these like championships. True. But until he got the right people behind him, he wasn't.
He's like one good guy, but not everyone, could realize what he was.
Yeah. That makes sense. No, that makes, and it's really cool that they have that like community. Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you've made friendships in it?
Yeah.
Too?
Yep. I had a great time. We had a little Christmas get together where we all got together for a couple days. Cool. And yeah, it was really fun.
Very nice. Mm-hmm. Do they kind of like have you guys competitive against each other?
I can feel it a little bit. They try not to. They're not allowed to they're contractually not allowed to say, well, so-and-so is doing this much revenue. They're not allowed to say. They don't have like a
chart where like a racehorse and
they can't. They can say, well,
Shannon's leading.
We gave another franchisee this advice, but they can't say which franchisee. You know what I mean? So they have to be very general. But you can feel it. I mean, we are all competitive, and we did like at Christmas, it was a donation charity event thing where it was Feeding America, I think.
Okay.
And so we had to like fill all of these bags of food, and it was like, well, once you reach 1,000 bags of food, then you're done or whatever. Yeah. And so my table of girls or women, there was maybe 8 of us or something, and we were like racing through this. Yeah. And you could tell every single one of us 8 at this particular table were like, we are going to win. And it was just to feed It was to Feed America. Yes, we will. Yeah. Absolutely. We did. Yeah.
That's cool.
So it was really funny. So you can kind of tell that there's some competition, but it's all friendly, and I think it's like to build each other as well.
No, and that can be positive too. Healthy competition to push one another.
Agree. Nobody feels like they're gatekeeping or anything like that. It's like, oh, I did this thing, and I'm going to tell you about it because I know you're going to tell me about this thing that you did.
For sure.
And we're all just going to grow together. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Is it all women, or there's some men?
There's a team of 2 men that are in Atlanta. Otherwise, all women so far.
And where, like, how many states is it in? Or approximately,
Yeah, Texas, Florida, New Jersey, several in North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, and Pennsylvania.
Okay, very cool. 20 and then is there like a licensure to become an interior designer?
There's actually not. That's required.
Is it state by state, or is it across the board?
It could be.
Okay.
It could be. So yeah, don't quote me. But not required in Florida to have a very specific sort of license or
what are what are in other states that they require?
I don't know.
Because I felt like I'd heard, but who knows? In Maryland, I thought there might have been some sort of like I grew up there.
Yeah.
So that's
there very well might be, and maybe don't quote me on that part.
Yeah. So no, you're fine. I mean, I feel like Florida probably there isn't.
Yeah.
I'm sure there isn't in Florida, and there might not be in Maryland. I really am not sure, but I just know my mom's best friend. She was like a nurse practitioner, but she had gotten that as like a backup. She did not want to, do that, but she had become an interior designer, and I felt like maybe she just did it for credentials. I'm not sure.
I felt a little, and that's where the imposter syndrome came in a little bit too. I'm like, well, I didn't go to school for interior design. But I have a whole team of people that did that I can leverage. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm here to run the business.
Yeah. And that's awesome.
Also get to be creative.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then will you do it for individuals if they wanted to?
Yeah,
like if
absolutely.
someone was wealthy and they had the extra money where they were like, hey, I want to sell this house and I'd like to have someone stage it to like.
I had a friend of a friend who was selling his home recently, and we staged it for him.
Okay. I bet in Ponte Vedra, a lot of people would pay you to do that.
Yeah. I do most of my marketing at the beach because
yeah,
that's where we've been getting a decent churn. But we also do interior design, and that can be for anyone who
wants
cool. some help.
Is that more like consultation part that you talked about, that you don't do the consultation, or you do?
Yep, no, we do. We have a hourly consultation side or full service design, so it's more like HGTV, like big reveal at the end. So either or.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Is there anything with the interior design that I did not ask you that you can think of you want to discuss?
Yeah. I'll mention that. So sometimes the interior design projects can take a little bit longer depending on lead times for the furnishings.
Okay.
So that's where our warehouse comes in. So we can hold all of the items while they're kind of coming in, and it's so much easier than doing it on your own. And putting furniture together or opening furniture that's already put together and screwing on the legs and it's heavy sofas and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's where we really help to come in. And then whenever we have a design client that is doing full service, we'll draft up the layout and all of the color schemes, and we'll have links to all the furniture to buy and all of that. And then we can do a couple of iterations of that as well for them. I think 2 iterations are included if they want to like tweak something or change something.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So if someone's like watching right now and they either own a personal home that they want to get not staged, what's the right word?
Designed.
Yeah. Or if they are trying to sell, how would they reach out to you? How would they contact you?
Yeah. There's lots of ways. So our Instagram page, Linden Creek _JAX for Jax.
Okay. And you're taking new clients, right? Yeah.
Yep, definitely. We have a website, www.linden-creek.com. Can text or call.
Okay.
That's 904-206-8037. Or email.
Yeah. And then do you do like is there a consultation fee?
No, I'll chat to you just to, definitely chat.
That's a good business move. I do the same thing. I do free consultations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And then, so how long have you said for about a year?
Yeah. I started getting into it about a year ago. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
But I have that whole team to leverage.
No, that's really experts. That's nice.
Really the true designs.
And then can people online get an idea of different like options they have to stage the home? Like, can they like kind of scroll and be like, I like this, I like that, or do they just tell you and then you kind of take it from there?
I would say for interior design, we want their feedback. On the interior design side, we would require really like come up with a couple of images or at least go through these images and tell me which ones you like
or not. Yeah.
like to help guide us. But on the staging side, not so much. We do prefer, just because we are limited to whatever inventory we have in house, and we have the expertise on matching that inventory to that home.
Okay.
So typically we would control that piece.
Do you ever like come in and say, we need to paint these walls, or could you not have that leverage?
I have. So
or maybe
if they're open to it.
Okay.
I have talked about painting, and we have, some of our favorite colors that we can recommend and things that help the house sell and are less specific to somebody's personal taste and more broad.
Is it a good idea if someone was selling a house to paint the whole thing the same color neutral as a background?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So, and then is there like a particular company that you use for furniture or anything like that, or is it all over?
We do have specific vendors. Actually, we have a Linden Creek shop.
Okay.
And most of our vendors, or all of our vendors, then kind of filter through our Linden Creek shop. But my favorites on there are Four Hands and Universal. And those are trade only pieces, so you can't just like go pick it up at Dillard's.
What does trade only mean?
Specific to the interior design.
Okay.
You have to have an interior design company in order to
nice.
get them, yeah.
But then someone can still purchase it from you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
but they just can't go like direct to.
I understand, but it's like a fancy, you have to go through an interior design company.
Okay. Yeah.
Is Design Warehouse, are they interior design company? Is that considered?
That one I don't know.
Are you familiar with them?
Probably. I feel like I am.
So they have, I mean, I've only been there like once, but we had like a friend that worked there, and basically it's like it's kind of towards the town center, but it's like a big warehouse where you go in and it's like all these stages. Yeah. It's Designer Warehouse.
Okay.
From the outside it looks like you're like in this industrial park and you're like, it doesn't look like anything.
Where
but when you go in,
town center,
I feel like it was like I was going like south side towards town center, but it was very industrial. Izzy will have to look up the address, because I remember kind of being like thinking it was going to look super nice inside, and then I go into this like industrial park and I'm like, but then when I walked in, it was like,
you're like,
it was amazing. And it has all these rooms and everything, but it's like, and then just like how you're explaining, you can purchase it off, like, I guess, like, I don't know, off the floor.
Yeah.
But it's, they're like pictures, and I don't know, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's called Designer Warehouse, or is it Designer Warehouse?
It's designers, designers apostrophe S warehouse. It's in
No, I'll get it at the end. There's one. There's one like by. I'm saying town center. It's not in the town center, but it was like, kind of like South Side Gate by the.
Right.
Like I said, it was very
or something,
kind of like going that. Well, when we finish, I'll get the address because I remember being like, what's like it was.
I love exploring.
It was just like I went there and I was like, and then it looked so because I remember. I think I'd seen pictures and I'm like, it's supposed to be really nice. And then I'm like, not that it's not nice, but it's very industrial. So
yeah.
But then you walked in and it was a really, really cool.
Deerwood Park Boulevard.
Okay, yes.
Is it Dash?
No, it's, well.
Oh.
The
Do you know Dash?
Warehouse.
Dash the Kardashians started?
No, but it's like amazing. We might be talking about the same thing.
Okay, maybe. This was, I think, designer. I just know it as Designer's Warehouse. So okay, but yeah, I guess Deerwood. So yeah,
because Dash is over by Deerwood too.
Okay,
you should check out Dash then.
All right,
it's
yeah,
nice.
no, it was really cool. Like I wanted to. I mean, I do enjoy decorating. I didn't decorate this place because it was already decorated, but I do like look forward to the day that like I have a house and I can decorate. Like I do enjoy all of that when I went and I was like, I love this and I love that.
I feel like
it was really
though.
Like, it was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. So what is your goal for the next 5 years? What's your vision?
Yeah. I would say I want when I find somebody who is like I was, who's kind of stuck in a rut and wants to get out but doesn't know how to get out. I just want them to feel inspired like I did.
Yeah.
I mean, originally my goal was to work as much as I could, invest as much as I could in order to retire as early as I could.
Yeah.
That was my goal, like, let's get done with this, know?
Yes.
Versus now my goal has completely flipped and it's like, I could do this for another 20 years.
That's really
just
cool.
to perfect it and just to get good at it. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's way more fulfilling and I'm not in a rush to
That's
get
a lot
done.
easier when you enjoy what you're doing.
Oh my gosh.
That's why.
People have been telling me this my whole life. And so I finally have started doing that. And so my goal is just to get in with other folks into their head so that they can see that too.
That's cool. I love that. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
That you've had this transition. It's going well.
Thank you.
And then the final question that I ask everybody, is there like a goal or not a goal? Is there a quote or like a saying or anything that you live by or that you just like?
Yeah. The one I like is that comparison is the thief of joy.
That's good.
And hard work is the architect of fulfillment. So I've learned along the way to just keep your head down and do the work, and you will feel more rewarded by that work when you know you've put in all of the work.
Yeah.
Like when you feel like you've earned it.
No, that's really cool.
Basically, keep your head down and not compare yourselves to others, and you will feel, satisfied by that, I think.
I love that. I saw a quote recently that's like, in the last week that I'd never heard before, but it was off that, but it was like, if you have a problem that is solved by action, you don't have a problem.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
and I agree.
I like that, and I just read it this week. I'm like, that's interesting. Yeah, so it's kind of like it's in the same family.
Yeah,
we're cousins.
It's like we can get this done.
Yes. So, well, thank you so much for coming,
Yeah,
and I
loved
hope
it.
everybody gives you lots of business, and that you're here for the next 20+ years.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.